Hello and welcome back to the channel for another Doctor Who themed video, another Doctor Who 6th anniversary / RTD2 themed video. It has been another massive day for the show today. I mean, obviously in what's already proved to be a massive week for Doctor Who, we had all the build up to the Power of the Doctor, we had the Power of the Doctor itself on Sunday evening and the regeneration, the shock return of David Tennant, the teaser trailer for the 60th anniversary specials and a load of more info on what to expect from those in November of next year, as well as some new promo pics and stuff, which I will be covering on the channel later in the week. I haven't got around to it yet just because there has been so much going on. I mean, just this morning as well, we had the latest wave of B&M sets revealed as well, following some leaks and stuff. We sort of knew what to expect from them, but that was also very nice. And again, I will be covering that in a separate video. But I thought the thing I should cover first and foremost, above all the other things, is the news, of course. We've got a brand new Doctor Who logo, which is not something you can say every day of the week or not every year. This only happens every sort of 5 years or so, if that. So it is a massive day for the show. It really kind of feels now like, the new era has begun. Because obviously we had the regeneration scene, we had David Tennant cropping up as the 14th Doctor, it would seem. But now that we've got the logo, it kind of feels like, a real statement of intent of what to expect, and it kind of feels much more real now that we're actually in this new era. We've kind of said goodbye to the old logo and to the old branding and to the old era. The show has shed its skin, and now we are officially into this second RTD era, into the 6th anniversary era as well, which feels very, very exciting. So a monumental day for the show. I'll be discussing my thoughts on the logo and the background of where it's come from as well in just a moment or so. But yeah, just massive, to think that this is going to be appearing everywhere for the next however many years on Doctor Who products of all descriptions, books, magazines, audios from Big Finish and the BBC and whatever, and just, figures and all sorts. It's going to be absolutely everywhere. So it's a really, really weird thought that we're seeing it for the first time today. But in terms of my thoughts on this logo and then the background to it, like I say, it's a weird one because obviously this is not a brand new logo. We're calling it the new logo. It is a new logo, but it's also an old logo or a new version of an old logo. It's something which we've seen before, which older fans will be familiar with, of course, from the early 70s, the John Pertwee and Tom Baker years, when this logo was used for the show in the early 70s, or a sort of variation of this logo, the diamond logo, as it's referred to fondly by fans. So yeah, it is kind of just that logo, but brought up to date, made more elegant, made nicer, made classier. I think the proportions have been altered as well, just to make it a little bit more suited to the 21st century and to the 2020s. So yeah, massively, massively exciting. And in terms of my thoughts on this as well, it's an interesting one because I wasn't actually seeing it for the first time today. I'm imagining that's going to be the same for some other people as well, some fans that were in the know and keeping up with rumours and stuff, because I don't know how long ago it was now, maybe like a week ago or 2 weeks, there was an image going round, showing this logo and sort of variations of it, like a stacked version, maybe like a long kind of horizontal version where the words Doctor and Who are all in one line. There's kind of a sheet going round of these different variations of the logo, and people were saying, this is potentially, rumoured to be a leaked version of the new logo for the new era. And I didn't really know what to think of that. I kind of had heard rumblings and rumours that, we might be going back to the Diamond Classic logo because, of course, next year being the 60th anniversary, it's Doctor Who's Diamond anniversary year, and we've seen that sort of feature, the kind of diamond motif in the marketing up to this point in terms of the emojis that were used to kind of tease the announcements for David Tennant and Catherine Tate returning, for Yasmin Finney as well, and then also for Neil Patrick Harris. They kind of use the sort of blue slanted box emoji, which looks like a diamond for Yasmin Finney and for David Tennant and Catherine Tate, and then the actual diamond emoji itself for Neil Patrick Harris. So, there were hints, there were rumours, there were rumblings. And so when I saw that leak, I was kind of thinking to myself, could this be real? Maybe. And I was kind of still quite sceptical about it. I was kind of thinking, would they really leak it? Would they really let it get out? But yeah, I suppose it was true. It turned out to be true. and it's really interesting to have that confirmed now, to have this lovely new high quality version of that logo now for all to see, and the announcement video they've done as well for it. So yeah, my thoughts on it, I mean, yeah, I think it looks really nice, really classy. It's a different direction to what we've had in the past 5 years or so, with the words Doctor Who all in one line. And yes, there is a kind of variation of that for this logo, I believe, as well. But yeah, it kind of feels very different to have them stacked, I suppose, and to have that sort of being the main version of this logo, which presumably is going to be on the title sequence and on merchandise and stuff. It'll be interesting to see what they do for like Doctor Who magazine and stuff, whether they use the kind of long line horizontal version of the logo, or whether they somehow get away with like using this kind of circular or diamond or square version of it. It kind of feels very suited, I suppose, to like social media profile pics. It kind of feels like an intelligent design choice from that point of view. I liked the old logo myself as well, but it is interesting actually that when I've been kind of doing YouTube stuff over these past couple of days, and I've kind of been using the sort of temporary logo which went out as part of the teaser trailer for the 60th after the Power of the Doctor, and I believe as well they used it on the clapperboards when they were filming as well. Just quite a sort of simple logo, if you can even call it that, just like the words Doctor Who in a very sort of simple font. But yeah, I was using that for a couple of thumbnails and stuff, and kind of thinking that even that kind of looks and feels a lot fresher than the old logo. I was kind of looking at the old logo, post the Power of the Doctor, on my old like thumbnails and stuff, and just on other Doctor Who merchandise and bits and pieces, and on websites and social media and stuff, and thinking to myself, yeah, actually, in a weird sort of way, that does sort of feel a bit old suddenly, and a bit sort of unfashionable, which is nothing against the logo or against the era or against the people that designed it. At the time it felt new, and when that was revealed for the first time, and it served its purpose very well over the past 5 years on all sorts of merchandise. It's been rolled out not only on new series stuff and New Who stuff, but also on classic series stuff, on Big Finish, across the whole range of merchandise. It's been very cohesive, very comprehensive. It'll be interesting to see how they continue that with the new logo, whether this gets rolled out onto Big Finish stuff as well to have that brand cohesion. I expect it probably will. Doctor Who magazine, obviously it'll be on there, and books and stuff, and tie-in media and the figure sets. In terms of the collection Blu-ray sets, I know there was kind of a bit of a hoo-ha about this. Basically, as soon as the new era was announced, as soon as Russell was announced to be returning, and there was kind of this expectation that there would be a new logo at some point, and of course, now here it is. There was always that feeling, in some quarters of the fandom, of people kind of thinking, oh god, I've bought, 12 or 13, however many sets they've done so far, of classic Doctor Who as part of the collection, which is meant to be like a definitive collection of Doctor Who, and comprehensive and cohesive, and oh god, are they going to change the logo halfway through and muck it up and make it kind of feel like a sort of hodgepodge of different designs and different things. And I think Russell T Davies has gone on record himself, and obviously being a fan himself, I think he's gone on record as saying sort of that they will sort of still let things like the collection use the old logo and see it through, for the whole range. Similar to how stuff like the Doctor Who DVD files part work did back in the day. They were still using like the old Taxi Light logo from the first RTD era well into the Matt Smith era, possibly even until like 2012, maybe even 2013, which is kind of mad to think. Or maybe was it actually 2014, I think. Yeah, I think it did actually overlap with the start of Peter Capaldi's era, which is absolutely mad to think. But yeah, there has been a precedent for this, in the past, with logos and eras and stuff overlapping. I think, with BBC management and stuff and branding and marketing these days, there is this feeling that things should be a bit more cohesive. That's why we saw the old logo, what is now the old logo, rolled out across Big Finish and across everything, So it will be interesting to see how they handle that. I mean, personally, I can't really see them changing it at this point for the collection, but certainly for new classic series releases, or sort of heritage line releases, if you like, which I guess now is anything up to the Jodie Whittaker era. I guess that will all use the new logo, in some form or another. So things like, classic series animations, if indeed we ever get any more of them in the future. That's a good example of what I'm talking about here. Something like a classic series product, or like a new classic series Big Finish audio adventure, or a classic series BBC audio adventure, or tie-in book, or whatever. That sort of stuff will all have this new branding on, I feel. Whereas stuff like the collection range will hopefully still get to use the old logo and to see that through. But it will certainly be interesting to see how they handle that, how that works out over the next year or so in this transition period. Because obviously there will still be stuff that's due out, that's not out yet from this era, that will still bear the old logo on it. Things like the Power of the Doctor DVD and Blu-ray and Steelbook and stuff like that, and the upcoming B&M sets as well. Obviously they went into production before all this new branding came in. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that works and sort of what the first pieces of merchandise to bear this new logo will be. Because Doctor Who magazine, which I believe that the next issue of is out on the 10th of November or around about then, they have teased that the next issue is going to be very special and ushering in this new era. So I'm guessing they're going to have the new logo, on the cover from like now onwards, basically. But in terms of other merchandise, I guess we could be seeing this logo on stuff before Christmas, maybe, or sort of as early as next month, or even the end of this month of October. I remember the Whittaker era logo, and when that came out, I think Forbidden Planet ran like an exclusive t-shirt design with it on, and that was the first bit of merchandise you could actually buy with the new logo on, and that came out like within a week of the new logo being announced. So yeah, it's a weird one to think about. Maybe there is stuff that is currently in production and has been going on behind the scenes that actually bears this logo and has it on it and the new branding, in factories somewhere locked up under lock and key. It's an interesting thoughts. But yeah, those are probably, my main thoughts on this logo, really. A lot of ramblings about stuff which are like tangentially linked to the logo itself, like the collection range and sort of fanish sort of queries and stuff about how that's going to work with the branding, how things are going to tie in, and how the handover is going to go between the old branding and the new branding, and the old era and the new era. But yeah, I'm sure we'll look back on this in years to come and think, what were we complaining about? What were we really complaining about here? This is a class logo. It looks really fantastic. I haven't really seen any sort of criticism or sort of negativity towards it, apart from maybe some people feeling that it kind of is too nostalgic, perhaps, or kind of too reminiscent of this old logo, and then they should have kind of gone in a different direction. But I personally kind of feel that, it's the show's 6th anniversary year next year. You're allowed to have a bit of nostalgia. You're allowed to do stuff like this, and it'll also hopefully kind of bring back fans that maybe haven't been there for the current era, and just generally sort of unites new fans and old. But yeah, please let me know in the comments below what you think of this logo, what your feelings are towards it, and any kind of concerns you might have about the collection box sets or anything else. But no, I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be okay. We hope. Fingers crossed. But yeah, I should mention as well, actually, that of course, at the same time, the BBC confirmed that Doctor Who is now going to be streaming on Disney Plus in basically like every country apart from the UK and Ireland, I believe, from now on, from this new era onwards, which again was rumoured for a very long time. So that's obviously great news as well, and absolutely massive for the show. I haven't quite decided whether I'll do a separate video on that yet or not, but stay tuned. I might do, maybe. But at the same time as well, they released this fantastic video of Ncuti Gatwa, sort of doing a sort of basics and facts video about Doctor Who, a sort of summary of everything you need to know about Doctor Who to kind of bring Disney Plus viewers up to speed. That is available to watch on the official YouTube channel and is really, really great. And Ncuti Gatwa just already feels so much like the Doctor from that video alone. It's great to have this first glimpse of him and about what his Doctor might be like, even though he's not going to be making his proper debut until the end of next year. So that's great. All of it is great. Fantastic news for the show. Very, very exciting indeed. But yeah, I will bring this one to a close now. So do let me know your thoughts below in the comments about the new logo, about the Disney Plus thing as well, and just about Ncuti Gatwa and everything. All this sort of stuff. Very, very exciting stuff. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out on future videos like this about the new era and about the 60th and all the mad stuff that's going on at the moment. Please leave a like as well if you have enjoyed this. And if you want to go one step further in supporting the channel and what I do, you can find the link to my Patreon page in the video description. But otherwise, until the next one, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye for now.